Hey there, this is Beck from Breathe and Blend Yoga, and I haven't done a video for a while. The last about 7 months I've been changing a few things, and I went to see a specialist about my diastasis as well. So the binding was definitely helping and brought my muscles back in together a whole lot, but we've also included a few other things to help bring the muscles back in, and now my gap is closed completely. A lot of therapists will say, oh, 1 finger gap is acceptable and that's considered closed, but that wasn't good enough for me. So I wanted them completely closed, and now they are. So I wanted to share with you how that happened. First of all, I want to show you these little things here. These are magnets. Okay, there's about 6 of them there and they're all stacked up. So what I did is I got these magnets, they're special little body magnets, and I got some strapping tape. Any strapping tape will do, just like you would on a bandage. And then these are really tricky little buggers to pull apart. You kind of, I don't know if you can see, slide them apart, and I'll show you how to put them on. They've got 2 sides to them. One side has a teeny tiny little dot, and that's the side that goes down onto your skin. So we'll pull this up, and here's some I have prepared earlier. Put the strapping tape on it, and then we want it to come down the midline in line with the belly button. So we just stick it on there like this. Now sometimes I keep these on for a couple of days and then I switch them around and change the tape, or sometimes I'll just take them off for a couple of days because the tape irritates my skin if it's worn for too long. It gets a little manky. So you want to have them fairly well spaced apart, especially because I do a lot of rolling motions through the spine. They can stick together, and it's really funny actually because my handles in my kitchen on my cupboards I didn't think were metal, but they actually are, and I stick to my cupboards all the time. And the magnets can stick to each other too and create a little bit of a pull, which can pull on the skin, which doesn't feel so great when that happens. You just kind of stick them on like this. And they, other than sticking to anything metal and the skin, they're not too bad to wear. It's not like binding where it's just awfully uncomfortable. So you can see here, dropping the chest, these 2 are stuck together. So we put them on here, like this, and then there you go. Now I want to show you some other stuff that I've done too. So get yourself a yoga block and a strap. So we've got a yoga block and a strap, and come down onto the floor. Now I'm at the stage where I can roll down if I want to, but because you'll probably have a diastasis and you shouldn't be rolling down, I'll show you how you're supposed to lie down. So let's just have a little check here. Reminder on how to check. There's another video I have of this. You just check here, and I'll do the other hand so you can see what I'm doing. Here and here. Yeah, that's all closed up. So the activities that I've been doing. First one. Now this is only if your linea alba is fairly close together and fairly thick. So if you're feeling pulse, or you can feel your internal organs and things like that when you're testing yourself, this is not the stage that you're at, okay? This is a stage where you've got a 2 to 3 finger gap, fairly thick on the linea alba, not going in too far. So we get the strap or a towel or a scarf, nothing stretchy. Put it underneath and wrap it around. So this is what I've been doing probably every second day. And then we strap in like this. Okay, And then I just do a hip tilt, press the lower back to the floor and brace through the belly, like, you know when you go to vomit and your abs tense up? That's the same kind of movement you want to do here. So then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I move the strap the other side of the belly button. I only started with 10, by the way. If your neck hurts, you need to use your belly muscles more as well. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you pull the straps across ways as you do your little head lifts. The other thing my therapist told me to do, which I was a little dubious about to start with, but it seems to be working, so I'm going to keep doing it. And I questioned him on this. I said, why do one side at a time? And he said that it basically tightens the individual side one at a time, as opposed to just that bowing effect. So I'll show you on this side first so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm putting the yoga block like that, just between the ribs and the pelvis. So just a little bit, enough to make me feel a little bit off center. Then you get your strap. We do the binding again, because this is training the muscles to where they're supposed to be as you're using them. So do the left side here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you swap sides. And you want to feel just like you're a little bit off center. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Make sure you're using your belly muscles contracting to lift you up, not pulling forward with your chin. You shouldn't feel it that much in the neck. Also, put the tongue on the roof of your mouth, and that'll help you to stop using your neck muscles a little bit more as well. The other thing I wanted to show you that I'm doing, which is my favorite activity, is this one. So I wonder if I have room here. I have to move. I'll move around this way. So what we're doing here is we're doing, it's called like cross crawling. So we go touch the opposite knee to the hand. Touch the opposite knee to the hand. Now, this is the gentle option. This is not using that much belly work. Okay? Now if you want to use your belly, bend the knees, tilt the hips so the lower back is to the floor, and really scoop that lower belly in and keep it that way. As soon as your lower back starts to pop up off the floor, or you don't feel that tightness through the lower belly, then you've lost it. You need to go back and do an easier version. So here we go, using the core, touch the opposite knee. This is if you have got quite a big separation, or if your linear elbow is really thin. This is a good one to start with. Just press the lower back purposely to the floor every time you lift, and even when you're putting your foot down. So basically the whole time. If you want to, as you start to build up strength, you can make it stronger by lifting both feet off the floor and tucking the lower back into the mat. And we go opposite. Now it feels really different. You can't just bring your hands here and flop them like this, because it doesn't work. Of course, if you have a shoulder injury, you should do that. But this is assuming that your shoulders are working just fine. So we touch opposite. I usually do about 40 of these at the moment, but when I started, I was still tapping the floor. And you keep the lower belly in. So then, once you get strong enough with this, and you can do a bunch of these, then you can straighten out the lower leg. I'm not quite at the stage yet where that leg's coming close to the floor, so I still keep it up on the 45. So I'm still building up strength. I've only been doing these exercises for about a month, but I'm already noticing much stronger core, and my muscles have come back together. So here's the next option. So if you were to do a stronger option than that, your lower leg would come closer to the floor. But the lower you go to the floor with a straighter leg, the more load it puts into the lower back and the core. Speaking of the lower back, you shouldn't feel this in the lower back. So you should feel your belly muscles burning, but not your lower back hurting. Lower back should feel nice and long, comfortable, pushed into the floor. This also is this is an original strength move, by the way. I should give credit here, because this is neural training as well. So you're resetting your brain, more coordination here, more left and right cooperation. So this is a little bit more bang for your buck too, because you are training your brain. Muscle memory comes from your brain. It doesn't come from your muscles. Your muscles are stupid. Your brain just tells them what to do. So there you go. And then I like to just do a little hug here. Maybe even a few hip tilts and lifts. This is really good for your butt, this one. Rolling down and up. Good. And remember, if you do have a split, roll to your side and lift up. You don't always have to do that once the muscles have come back together, but it's good to get into the habit of it while you're still pulled apart. So hopefully that helps you with your journey and healing as well. And if you have any questions, just type them out for me and I'll do my best to answer them. But yeah, hopefully you get something out of that and that can help you too. Namaste.